Hello, and you're very welcome to this week's Horse Racing Ireland 5 to Follow. We've a busy weekend ahead. Tomorrow at Downroyal we have a full national hunt card featuring the JNwine Champion Chase, a Grade 1. Then on to Sunday we have Leopardstown for a flat card featuring the newly named Movember Handicap, and also we have Cork, full national hunt card featuring the Paddy Power Cork Grand National. Now Marv, last weekend, one winner.
Yes, Martin did quite well, Miriam, on his own last week. He had one winner, Dick Dundee, and a couple of place horses as well. So hopefully, with plenty of racing for us this weekend, we might be able to do it at least as well, or maybe a little bit better if we can.
Great.
And you're going to kick us off with the JNwine Chase on Saturday down Royal.
Yeah.
Cracking looking race.
So 2:30, the JNwine Champion Chase, Grade 1, 3 miles. Quality field, 7 going to post for this, and I've gone for First Lieutenant, Mouse Morris's horse. Now, as I said, class horses in the race. Obviously, we've Sizing Europe, and then he was the winner of the PWC Chase in Gore, and there on his first run back the start of October. Two other horses in that race, then Quito de la Rock and Roy de Me, they fell in that race, so I think they're going to be trying to make amends as well. First Lieutenant, though, he was third there. It was about 2 weeks ago. He had his first run back, and he had strip fitter for that. And I think he's the one to go with. Now, of course, we can't forget our UK Raider. We've caught a stone coming from the Paul Nichols yard. He won this last year, so I think he'll be coming back for it again. But again, with Davy riding, I think I'll stick with First Lieutenant. Should be around the 2 or 3 to 1 market. But again, it looks like it's going to be a cracking race.
It certainly should be. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing Mount Bilbulbin as well. He was a good winner, Punchestown Festival last year.
True.
He's taking on the big boys now.
Yeah.
And of course, Sizing Europe, he's been second in the race in the past twice before. And of course, does he get the 3 miles to be a question? So
that's the thing.
Hopefully now, 11 years of age, he's got a good chance. And I think First Lieutenant is a solid choice. So moving on then to our second selections at Leopardstown on Sunday. It's the end of the tough season 2013, and a great tough season it has been. And of course, we have a couple of interesting races. The one I'm looking at is the 2 o'clock race, the Knockair Stakes, a list race over 7 furlongs. Now, I tipped this filly a couple of weeks ago, Big Break, trained by Dermot Weld. Unfortunately, she was beaten at Tipperary on that occasion, but that was her first run since early on in the season. So I think she's going to improve a bit on that. I think she's going to take plenty of beating. There's 16 runners in this. She's drawn 14, which isn't ideal, and she does have a couple of interesting contenders against her, like Michael Helford's Misava was a good runner-up at Naas there a couple of weeks ago. That should go well. And also Fence of Assisi from Aidan O'Brien. You couldn't dismiss that one. But I do think Big Break, I think she's going to be a filly that should do very well next season. I think she'll start favourite all right, and I think she'll take plenty of beating. So then moving on to our next selection, and again I'm going to go for one of Dermot Wells in this one with Pat Mullen on board. It's the Leopardstown Club members handicap at 305 over a mile and a quarter. Now this is a filly called Payday Kitten. She actually hasn't raced since the Galway Festival in July, when on that occasion she was favourite with Conor King on board, and she finished third to a horse of Tony Martin's called Dark Crusader, who has gone on to be quite a decent horse himself, a winner at York there early on in the season as well. So I think this Dermot Wells filly, lightly raced, should improve a fair bit. Will like the soft round on Sunday, and while she has the likes of Fulminata and Gunnar Lindley and maybe Barrack to beat, I think maybe a 5 or 6 to 1 each way, Payday Kitten might be the way to go. And then just finally for me this week, our fourth selection, as you said, the new name, the Movember Handicap, also a new distance as well, has been run over 2 miles for many years and now run over 1 mile and 6. It's the last race on Sunday, the 8th race, the 405, wide open handicap with 19 runners. Interesting that Brian Ellison, who of course won the Cesarovich a couple of weeks ago, has sent over 2 runners in this, Santa Padre and a horse called Totalize, who won last time out. Also David Nichols has Be Perfect, so it's a strong English challenge for this valuable contest. Joanna Morgan has Ancient Sands, and I think Kevin Prendergast Magenta should run very well. But the one I'm going to go for here is a horse called Stony Grey, trained by Andy Oliver, and the mount of Niall McCullough. Very much improved performer. We tipped him up a couple of weeks ago at Naas, and unfortunately just failed to beat Ancient Sands on that occasion at a nice odds of 9 to 1. I think he's a really tough horse. He loved a mile and 6. He loves soft ground. He's very much improved. And I think around 7 or 8 to 1, he's got a rock solid each way chance. So there are my 3 selections for this week, and I believe we're going to give us the final one for Cork. A good race there, the Paddy Power Cork Grand National.
Yeah, the big one again. So wide open contest, I think, and I've opted for one sort of towards the bottom of the handicap, and that's Unoccupied, Owen O'Grady's horse. Now, had his seasonal reappearance there on Monday in Galway, where he was only beaten about 5 lengths by Count Salazar. He was third, and I'd say he didn't have the easiest race either. Met a lot of traffic and that. But I think he's a good chance now for getting in the money on Sunday. Again, an each way chance. I think ground, trip, track, everything will be in his favour. He's won twice on heavy. Philip Enright rides again. He won on him in the past, and I think he's a good one to side with now. Tiny 9.13 on his back. and he's the one for me.
Well, yeah, certainly over 3.5 miles, you would be looking at something towards the bottom of the handicap. Of course, going from that, we also have some tremendous racing in America this weekend. The Breeders' Cup, of course, in Santa Anita. Aidan O'Brien, the only Irish trainer with plenty of runners at the meeting. His big chance tomorrow, I suppose, will be declaration of war in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and of course, Magician then runs the Breeders' Cup Turf. He will be up against some very decent horses, but it's always an interesting meeting, and hopefully, might be able to nab one of those prizes anyway and round off what has been a great season for him. Of course, we're into the national hunt season now, Miriam, and where are we going next weekend?
Yeah, full swing now. Naas on Saturday, all jumps, and then Limerick Sunday, and then we have Navan on Sunday too. We've got 2 Grade 2s, the Lismullen Hurdle and the Fortria Chase.
Should be plenty to look forward to there.
So.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you'd like any more information, you can visit our website at goracing.ie or find us on Facebook or Twitter. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Go Racing. Go online. GoRacing.ie. Horse Racing Ireland's official website.